Hello, 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 and welcome back once again, lads, and lassies, to Made in Abyss. Now, last episode, we ended off with Rico and the crew finding these monster-ish people on the sixth floor. Now, we don't know exactly what they are, but I have a theory that they could potentially be the people that we're following in like the semi-prologue story-ish of this season. Now, I don't know if we're going to go back to that. I think we're going to go back to that. We had nothing about those people last episode. Episode 2 was mostly, I think, if not the entire thing, based off of Rico. The Ozen narration, I think, has been replaced with the main character of the flashback stuff. So I'm really hoping that we do get more flashback stuff, because I thought that was really interesting. And who knows, maybe like down in the line of like these episodes that the season has coming, that we'll actually see some of that flashback stuff like in their own episodes. So like how Rico and the crew got their own episode here, maybe in the episodes to come, we'll get a complete episode based off of those flashbacks, or maybe they're gonna like split the story throughout the season through like half the episodes this, half the episodes that. Who knows? I have my theories, and if you want to see the full in-depth breakdown of what those theories are, you can go check out the last couple of videos that I did for season 2. But honestly, I'm really just here to go along with the ride, because season 1, I will say, it surprised me a lot. It got a lot darker than I thought it would, and I knew that the series was supposed to get dark. It got really emotional. And then the movie was also really, really good. So I'm just excited to see where the world of the Abyss takes us, and if we get any more answers, because I think the past couple episodes, not just of season 2, just in general, the series has really been getting questions and questions and questions. Get a little bit of answers, but it's mostly questions, and I'm really interested to see if anything gets answered, or maybe that's something for season 3. Who knows? But let's just get right into this, shall we, lads? I really like how it just keeps transitioning between the two stories. I really like this opening. I like it a lot more than season 1's, I'm gonna be real. Both visually and like the song. Though the song still like is really upbeat for what the series tends to hold. I like it a lot. It'd have to be the people, right? Just turned into the monsters of the Abyss, I think. I don't know. That's my only explanation. I mean, this is the 6th floor. Nobody knows what it could be, but I'm gonna say it's the people. Man, that's gotta suck. You gotta be careful of every step you take, because if you go up, like, let's say you, like, oops, drop my pin up, like, it rolls up my ball rolled up a little hill. They seem to keep a very respectable distance. They have the whistle. Please. So he is a hollow. So he's a vessel. Are all these people cave raiders, maybe? Or not all of them, but like, are like some of them cave raiders of the past? Not the glove, you need that. Ah. Nah, I'm good. Not for a piece of paper. Yeah, no. That's adorable. Oh, yeah, stay away from that guy then. Alright, so they're bound. The desire of friendship. Oh! Oh no! Oh! Menya didn't last long, did she? Yeah, you gotta get out of this place. This, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be a cop-out and it's not actually dead. Oh. Oh. Now you gotta get out of here. This place is not good for anything normal. Oh? Oh. What the? Oh. Oh, did it steal all that stuff? Oh my god, that's actually very sad. Okay, that's kind of sad. Oh, that sucks. So it's this unknown force. Oh! Oh, it's taking them now! Oh, she's... Oh... It's like Percy Jackson's pen. Oh, damn. Dang, that sucks. That's terrible what happened. Kinda cool, but still. I don't think anyone speaks English here, man. Or Japanese. Oh? You speak this? What is this? It's just because it's red and white, but that looks like that's I don't know if that's gonna be the girl from the from the prologue stuff. It's quite literally blood money. Nice. Oh. Oh, at least Rico's enjoying it. Yeah, that's what I thought. There were flies around that thing, man. Oh. Was that another one of those gas explosions? Always very angry. Oh, it actually shot the tree. In a way. Yo, it's Reg! Princess of the Hollows. Oh, yeah? Oh? Is that supposed to be her? Oh, man. Oh, this is something terrible. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if they ascend up a little bit. They're kind of like robots, but they also look... Oh! Well, that was short-lived. kind of reminds me a little bit of Rizero CD. No, never mind. Maybe like the voice of the singer, but not the tone of the song. Okay, so we learned some new stuff. I feel like last season. Well, okay, I think for the first couple episodes last season, I did like every episode was a discussion. But I feel like as the time went on, I just decided to do more episodes together, because obviously like late season, things were just happening like so fast. I'm like, all right, I really want to watch the second episode right now. Yeah, like when Rico broke her arm, I was like, I want to know what happens to Rico's arm. I feel like this season, it's obviously like the story hasn't started in a sense yet like that, but like there's so much to talk about right now. Like we've learned, again, questions, but we've learned so much. Like everyone's a hollow here, which I think was pretty much a given. Everyone is a hollow. Even the guy Kaja. But Kaja's a vessel because he wasn't happy with the body he got, or the body he got can't go around like that. So he's using a vessel. So he's still a hollow. He's not like a human controlling it or anything. So he had a body. He becomes a hollow, and then he uses this thing as a vessel, and he's constantly working to upgrade said vessel. And it's no wonder why the other hollows are so curious yet so very scared, and they keep their distance from Rico and the crew because they want Rico. Probably Nanachi too. Nanachi's, I think, still considered a kid even though she's a hollow, and she is different from all the hollows. Like he said, she was created. If you hear something in the background, I think it's a garbage truck right now, outside. But Nanachi is different from other hollows. She said, like he said, you were created with the old fortress, within the walls of the old fortress, which would mean the place that we just came from in the movie. So her transformation, and like also her transformation is different because she kept everything about herself, other than her body. She kept her humanity. She didn't become mindless, and she didn't become blob. And then they also said that they're bound to this place, which I guess they did have a force field, and they were very scared. Or not very, like Rico, Reg, and Nanachi, they were scared to enter the force field because they didn't know what was going to happen to them. But I guess that force field is less... Sorry. That force field is less to keep people out but it's less there to keep people out, and it's more there to keep the hollows in. Except for the Hollow Princess, which we'll get to that in a little bit. There's so much in this episode to talk about potentially. But yeah, so they were interested in Rico and Nanachi because, and probably Reg, but they don't know Reg's a robot. Oh no, yeah. So they were interested in Rico and Nanachi because, well, they're kids, and the kids are very valuable to them, especially their body parts, like the eyes and all that. Which I wonder how they measure their value too. Which we'll get to the value system later. But when Reg turned around to look at them, they all backed up because the princess has like a Reg warrior at her side. It looked like Reg's arm. Other than that thing was the Hulk, but it did look like it was built similarly to Reg. So that's why when he turned around, all the hollows like, and they kept their distance. So is Reg defective? What did Rico's mom do to find him? He does have missing memory, so it could be that like because he's doesn't remember what he is. He doesn't remember his programming. And Rico's mom found him like that, and then he forgot again. Is he just defective? That robot hit the tree with something. Like big boom, there was a crater in the tree. Not that big of a crater, but it shook the entire area. So it hit it with something. And the princess, they very much seem to imply that she is the kid from the flashbacks. And in those flashbacks, we saw something that kind of looked like Reg. They sounded robotic. They did sound very robotic. Design-wise, they looked like a mixture between Reg and like some other monsters of the Abyss. The main reason why I thought they were robots was mostly the voices. Sorry, I'm very tired. I've been more tired recently than in a while. I do not know why. But I'm trying to like get a still frame, like a still shot of these guys. They look like a mixture between Reg, or like they look like Reg, or they sound, I don't they don't look like Reg, but they remind me of Reg. And they move where one of them looks like Kaja, and then they're cyborgs, right? Reg's supposed to be a robot. He's not a cyborg. He's 100% robot from what they've said. These look more like cyborgs than robots. Like we have a lizard person, I think a crab, some other things. Very like numerous designs, but all of them have like robotic parts to them, robotic imagery. There's a lot. So like, I don't know if these 4 that found the other group, I don't know if they're hollows, if they're monsters of the Abyss with sentience potentially, or if I don't know. Like now we have we've always been wondering this: who built Reg? Were these guys first? Did the Hollow Princess build them? I feel so bad for these people. They don't know. They don't know the curse. Well, they have like a semi idea of what the curse is, but someone's gonna like go, oh look guys, a small hill that we can look over like the area, and it's just gonna turn into something horrible, and it's gonna be the most painful process to look at. Then someone's gonna go run up to them like, oh my god, are you okay? And then it's gonna start happening to them. And eventually, I believe it's going to happen to all of them. Now, Kaja did say that they were all adventure. They're not all. Not all of them are cave. They're not. Not all of them are spelunkers. But Kaja did imply, or no, he did say that all of them came looking for an adventure in the Abyss. And when they got to the 6th floor, while it wasn't immediate, they eventually gave themselves up to it. Which I don't know if it's a choice in the sense of they actually like speak to the Abyss, like, Abyss, take me. Or they just go, you know what? Screw this, and they walk up like 2 steps. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go down in the story, but it does sound like it was very much mutual. Like it was consensual. Because I was thinking maybe, because we don't know the 6th floor that much. We don't know anything about it. So I was thinking potentially that the longer you stay here, your body morphs. So instead of a yes, it is a punishment, but like instead of a punishment of ascending, that's still a threat. But since we're deeper in the Abyss, you become, like, the deeper you go, the harsher it is on your body. That's what I was thinking, like, over time, like, this happened to people. But it does seem more of a choice rather than like, oh yeah, I just woke up one day and like, yeah, like part of me was a robot. And like, well, you know, I'm not going back to the surface, so it is what it is. It doesn't seem like that. It seems more that they gave themselves up to the Abyss, which was the whole point for like the White Whistles, the spelunkers. The whole point that they went down to the 6th floor as their final adventure. And they just want to see, like, Rico wants to go to the bottom. She wants to find the bottom of the Abyss, and like there's no going back. Like as the further down you go, the worse the consequences become. So there's no going down. It's the final hurrah of retirement plans. So yeah, we did actually get a lot of answers this episode, but not like we got like small answers. But like this Hollow Princess, she has her own robot, it seems. and it's kind of implying that she's the kid from those flashbacks. I don't know. Maybe it's not like implying, it's just like transition, but I think I think it's trying to say that, it's trying to hint towards that. But yeah, I guess they sell children because they aren't too much of a commodity down there. Like, you know, white whistles are supposed to be adults. They're supposed to be the peak of their game, or I guess end of the game. They're at the end of their peak. They're adults. So very few children would come down here, and then like even then, you have to have the white whistle with you. So yeah, I understand that children are a rare commodity here, but oh my gosh, it's the barter system. All right, it was sad that thing that that first of all, that thing that crushed the little pet. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. That I thought that was it. I thought MAAA, I think that's how you say it. I thought that was it. That was the end of the road. I was like, well, that didn't last long. Luckily, only her intestines were pushed out of her butt, so we could save her. Her eye popped out a little. Yeah, I thought it was over. I thought it was over for that, but no. And then because of phrasing, oh my god, the village has a semi mind of its own. Not really, kind of. It delivers punishment in an interesting way, but I like it. It's terrible. It's terrible, but the world of Made in Abyss is so interesting. So like the village, no wonder why everyone's so careful with what they do. Everything's out in the open. And then I guess Riko, Reg, and Nanachi are exempt from this because they're outside of the village. Like the princess, she can come in and out as she pleases. So there's loopholes. So, but no wonder why everyone like abides by the rules. There's no stealing. There's no destruction of property. Like if you destroy too much of what you can't afford, the IRS is after your ass. This is the equivalent of the IRS coming after you. Like, but the village like destroys all of your possessions first, and then destroys you for whatever your possessions couldn't pay for, and it just gives you out to the rest of the villagers. That is foul. And first of all, shouldn't like sorry, as a non-practicing lawyer, I'm joking. I don't have a law degree. Since Mr. Ma injured Riko's property, why would the village want to disperse Mr. Ma's remains to the entire village when it is 100% Riko's to disperse? Granted, she did say she didn't want it, so yeah, I get it. Maybe like it was like, you know what, maybe Riko doesn't want the body parts. Like it heard like, can I make it stop? And it's like, okay, fine, you don't want the body parts, so I'll barter the body parts for you and compensate you with the money. Well, yeah, that was dark. That was actually really sad too. Watch like when the Ma like saw its things get destroyed and turned into money, and then like as like that was happening, it's like to add salt to the wound, we got Kaja like explaining like, that is what is destroyed will never come back. That is destroyed will never come back. It is gone forever. Like, damn, man, we get it. It's gone. And then like Ma watched like the pieces of something valuable to it like, fall down to its feet, started bawling its eyes out, only for like the rest of him to get destroyed. Like Ma is not coming back from that. Rough. It's also interesting here. Sorry, I'm going kind of all over the place. There was a lot to talk about in this episode. Oh shoot, I haven't even talked about how they're bound. I talked about the robots, so I can cross that out. I haven't even talked about the whistles either. So going to the princess for now. I guess since we're talking about hollows, she seems to work outside of the laws of the city, village, town. And I'm looking at this, like, I conveniently stopped here when I was, like, rewinding. Let me just read these subtitles really quick. I wonder, because he goes, the meaning in the common tongue is a high status ... female. These things don't necessarily seem to have a gender. They said they lose their humanity. What's her name from last season? Nanachi's friend. Shoot, that was really sad. I don't remember her name though. Oh yeah, so Nanachi's friend, the one that got turned into like the mindless version of a hollow to protect Nanachi from turning into that herself as well. I would say she lost. What made her human, as well as like any defining features or traits that made her female. So like that's why, like, especially with the ... he kind of Kaja, it seems like he kind of like, how do I describe this? And I feel like the way I would say, like, this is why I like listening to things in English, because when it's in a different language, you can't pick up too much, or like I feel like I'm trying to imply a lot with how he's. I feel like I'm trying to imply a lot of what he's trying to say, or how he's implying it as well, because like I don't know exactly how he's saying it. I'm mostly going from the subtitles, but this is a high dive dub, so English probably would not have helped. I read those subtitles with the ... like a high status female. Like, is that a rarity to have a hollow turn out like that? Because like we have Nanachi, but even then, Kaja said, "Oh, you're different. Like you were not one. You're not made from here. You're made from the ritual up there, and two, someone sacrificed themselves for you so you can." Like he immediately he understood what happened to her, and even if you look at her, she's not them. She's more human in characteristics and mind than these things. So these things have some form of intelligence. They also seem to be very simplistic, I guess. I feel like they're like, I mean, they have the barter system, but it's more of a, that's probably because of the area town thing. But they don't seem to have, I guess it depends also how old they are too. Like, if they're a couple centuries old, then they probably would have been around for the bartering system. But like their currency is barter. It's equal exchange, equal trade. And they have currency. But like, you know, you can go like, all right, yeah, this does cost $5, but how about my pinky? You know? So they're more of a, their society feels more back in the day. So, yeah, I don't know. This is, like I said, I think by episode 3 of the first season, I think we were just barely touching the abyss. Like, I think it ends with Rico and Ray going into the abyss. And that's when I started doing the 2 and 3 episodes bunched together. This is like, all right, I could potentially go into, like, I could watch episode 4 right now. But I feel like I'm going to forget a lot of things to touch on now. But yeah, this place is dangerous. They, like, these people, like I was saying, like, they're semi-simplistic. They don't, like, Kaja does seem to have kept his intelligence, but he's also, it's weird because they acknowledge that they were human, but I feel like they've lost a lot. I mean, maybe it's just because like their time here, they've forgotten. But they don't really communicate that well. I mean, Kaja's the only one that's speaking Japanese. If I say English instead of Japanese, my bad, G. But Kaja's the only one speaking their language. And everyone else speaks in like ma, mi, oh. So, and like they semi-understand what Rico and everyone wants, but they kind of don't either. It's really interesting, like how badly the Abyss has affected these guys. And I guess it's just, how long have they been here? Like, is it insanity? I mean, after the effects the Abyss puts on your body, I would not blame them. But yeah, this place is dangerous. That MAAA creature like almost killed the pet main. I'm sorry. Menya. The MAAA thing almost killed Menya because it was curious. It had no idea what it was doing, so I would not want to stay here any longer than I would want to. And I kind of hope that Rico and company leave sooner rather than later, because I feel like the longer they stay here, the more of a chance that a misunderstanding may occur. But yeah, I'm not sure. We do need answers now from the princess. I think Greg is gonna ask those questions because I think he recognizes like, oh, things kind of like me. Is that a robot? I'm a robot. Where did you get that? Where am I from? Princess? So I think that's where this next part's going. Unless episode 4, because this episode ends with the peoples. It ends with the flashback stuff. So I would be completely down if episode 4 picked up with the flashback stuff, and then episode 4 ends with going back to the princess, like going back to this scene, and then episode 5 picks up with this scene here. I would be completely down for that. I am so interested in both these plot lines, and I really want to see how they marry together. Oh man, I love stuff like this. So we talked about the princess. The hollow or bound to this place, which I talked about too, except for the princess seems to be absolved of that, but she's the princess, so we can give her special privilege. But the hollows are turned into their desires, or their body becomes fit for their desire. I don't really know how to take that. It's kind of, I mean, it's not exactly like this at all. The only other thing I've seen this from is what was that one Korean Sweet Home, I think, where like this apocalypse happened and people were turning into their worst desires, and their like worst desires manifested themselves into that physical form, which I'm gonna be real, I did not enjoy Sweet Home. I thought it had an extremely interesting premise, but a very poor execution. But like the best thing I think about Sweet Home, in my opinion, was like how people's desires manifested themselves. Like, what does it look? I mean, it's pretty easy to think about this one, but you know, like, what does a gym bro look like when he gives into his desires, or into his darkest desires? Or like, what does a person of greed? What does that look like, and all that? Such cool designs. I just feel like it was not well executed. That's just my opinion, though. I know a lot of people that like Sweet Home. But this one seems like, I know Nanachi is different from them. So like, I was gonna say like, how does friendship turn into a bunny? But she's different from them. Though take a shot every time I drink water. Though Kaja does admit, saying like, oh, what, you turned into this, your desire must have been so strong, or like the thing that desired to protect you must have been so strong, which was the power of friendship. So I wonder like what I wonder like how I do hope that we see it. I'm wondering how someone's desire affects their body. Like what was Kaj's desire? I mean, I know that's not his body, but like what was Kaj's desire to affect him to turn into whatever he turned into? What was the MAAA's desire? I wonder if they just say that, or if they just say that and like people turn into whatever, or if they're gonna actually go into it with this flashback group. That would be really cool if they went into like, oh yeah, this person desired wealth and like this is what they turned into. I don't know. I like that. I think that was like the strongest part of Sweet Home, and it kind of did lose the sauce as it went on in the Netflix version. When I haven't read the manhwa, or not the manhwa. Was it a manhwa? I don't remember. I haven't read like the source material. I just like watched the Netflix version. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I don't need to watch season 2. Though it sucks because I was actually kind of invested, but not completely sold. And then the last thing I have is that the Bruska, the whistle, was stolen potentially by the princess. They don't know yet. But the big thing here is that she's enjoying being chipped away, and they are looking to put her inside of an instrument for her full power, which I don't know what that means. I don't know what her full power is going to end up being, but it's time to keep an eye on that. She'll come back eventually when it's key. But it does seem that the peoples are like going around how they got Prushka and why they took her. They're just like, yes, we're fixing her. We're making her feel better. But they go around like the reasoning as to why they're doing it. So that's going to come back later, as I think Prushka is also going to be very important going on. I think Prushka's importance in the sense of like why she is a whistle, it has expired at this point, because the whole reason was to use the white whistle to get down here. Now that they've done that, what do we need the white whistle for? So the instrument buff, I think, is going to make her importance come back. Because, I mean, she was only important for, 5 minutes, and they got here. That's it. That's all Bruska needed to do. So I wonder what they're going to do with her going forward, if they're going to do anything with her. And then I guess the last thing I have, the OP and ED, I think are a lot better than season 1. ED, I was going to say both in visuals, but no, the ED is just text with cool wisp of smoke in the background. I like the lyrics a lot. I think the ED for last season was pretty good too. So I think the EDs are probably kind of similar, but I think this one, me personally, it appeals to my taste, and I think what I think of in the terms of the tone of the show, I think this ED nails it. It's like that it's kind of like that mystery vibe to it. I get this sense of dread. The lyrics are really good, and the opening lyrics as well. The thing is, I liked the lyrics in last season's opening. I just didn't like the tone. And this one, if the tone is still upbeat, but it's more, how do I describe it? I don't know. I feel like last season's OP was tone deaf in how upbeat it is. This one, there's something about it. Maybe the visuals are better for me. There's something about this opening where both the song and the visuals, I in my opinion, are way better. Though granted, these visuals, I'm trying not to focus too much on them. They look like there's a lot of spoilers here. But yeah, that's Made in Abyss episode 3 of season 2. So if you enjoyed this, lads, be sure to subscribe and stick around for next season, next episode, so you can see. You can watch me unravel what the heck is going on. I'm really hoping next episode is going to be the flashback centric episode where we see that crew. But who knows? Answers. All I want are answers, but not too many answers, because then what are we going to do here for the next next 75% of the show? Man. Yeah, good stuff. Season 2, I can see why a lot of people were saying season 2 was such a big step up for season 1, because I'm so much more engaged in this world now, and that's mostly because of the context of season 1. But season 2, there's so many more questions. So yeah, lads, lastly, subscribe, like, comment down below, and I'll see you all next week for another episode of Made in Abyss.